And I went and lived in his ashram in India for a year. And it was a Tantra Ashram. So I studied Tantra. I was deeply immersed in Tantra and meditation for a year. And everyone thinks Tantra means sex, and it is very sex positive. I believe sex is sacred, which is not very common here in the West, is it? Do we see sex is sacred? Not really. But I know I always, when I first heard that sex was sacred, I was like, yeah. Anybody else had that feeling? It's like something else going on here. This seems like it's not what they're telling me it is. So I was very curious about that, and Osho talks a great deal about the beauty of sexuality and the beauty of making love and the higher realms of that, and many other things in the meditation about. And so what I found living there for that year, many things, but one thing was that the men and women related there in a way that was very beautiful that I had never experienced here. Men and women were, first of all, everyone was working on themselves, personal and spiritual growth. Everyone would come from all over the world. People were probably more educated than most, and sex positive, and also people were trying to be authentic, work on themselves, become better people. So the men and women came together in a way that I called spiritual brothers and sisters helping each other grow. So you would come together in a way that was trying to be very authentic and share something beautiful, whether it was sexual or not, whether it was a friendship or not. And then if it wasn't meant to be that this was going to be your grand partner, what I call hitting the jackpot, then you would part without the way it is here, like, what a creep. It was just like, that was the nature of our friendship. And it had a very organic thing. Sometimes it would hurt a little bit, but it wasn't like here where you felt like you were treated like trash or you just got ghosted or whatever. It was more like you would still see this person all the time and know that you still had a friendship. And so for a long time, that was the best year of my life, was I would look back and go, wow, that was so beautiful. And then I started dating here. And does that sound like anybody's dating experience here? Is there anybody?
No, not here. Not here.
I was going to say, where do you date then? What I found here, what is it like here? I found it very cold. It's like the only value you have is how close you look to a movie star. You know, the first thing is, what do you look like? If you don't look like what I think you should, throw you out, or are you cool, or this or that, and how much money does the guy make, and everybody has a checklist of who they're looking for, and you've got to be on the checklist, and the first thing they ask you on online dating is your age, and it's like, I don't want to tell you my age, and I don't think it matters. But unless you can go on there with your age, you can't even get into the dating site, right? So, and at the ashram, there had been combinations of people of all different ages. You'd have women 20 years older, men older, this and that, all different body sizes, all kinds of things that here in this culture we think is odd. And there it was completely normal because we were going first on friendship. Osho says friendship is higher than love. So when I came back, I was trying to reconcile how to be a spiritual person in the dating world. How can I, it's so unloving, it's so cold. My experience of it was, I didn't really fit the checklist of what I'm supposed to be. I'm just a person. You know, I don't look like Beyonce, and I don't do this and that, and I'm not somebody's idea of the right age or the right body or this or that. So it's like, how do I navigate this world, this dating world, as a spiritual person? And I would want to try to bring what I learned at the ashram into the dating process. And that's part of what I want. That's part of what I wrote this book about, and what I am doing these workshops about, to help people bring more love and awareness into the dating process.